I'm betting there's even more, which adds up to an absolute assload.
Brains. Sorry about that. You look, it's Lucille. Right. Hey, howdy, hey, zombie apocalypse survivors, or Walker, as The Walking Dead goes about it. Walkman 407 Dash here. So, I thought today we talk about The Walking Dead. So, the main series has come to an end with its third and final part of the 11th season, and there's like multiple different projects in the works, and it's had a lot of spin-offs, video games, and the comic book series it's based on is more popular than ever. But with all that said, the big question a lot of people are wondering is, with not much happening with Walking Dead at the moment, particularly with the lack of news as to new projects and all that, is it dead? Is there still life to it, or whatever? We'll get to that question in a moment, but I'd like to talk a bit about how I feel about each of the different shows and so forth. For those who are wondering what I think about each of the seasons of the shows and so forth, I reviewed most of the stuff on my blog, so if you want to see what I've reviewed from Walking Dead, click in the description below. But generally on the whole, I like it. I definitely like most of the main show. Some seasons and episodes I'm not too keen on, but overall I've got nothing but praise for it, because it's a well-made show with a great talented cast and crew. And I always see, and when it was still live on the Fox channel, which we don't have in the UK anymore because of Disney Plus, I always watched the after show Talking Dead, where they always went in depth of the show, went behind the scenes, had interviews, paid tribute to the characters and so forth that died in the episode, and all that wonderful stuff. So and I love the main show. I think all the characters are great, all the actors are really good, and I like how instead of following the comic book exactly, they do it their own way, so it's loosely based but still has connections to the comic book series. Like most of the storylines are still intact, it's just some characters' fates are changed, and then you've also got some original characters like Norman Reedus' character Daryl, who appears in like the entire show. And then you've got Fear the Walking Dead, the first spin-off, which, unlike the main show, which is set sometime after the apocalypse has happened, Fear the Walking Dead is set just as the apocalypse happens and focuses on a new set of survivors. But kind of sort of towards, season 4 or 5, I think. You might have to correct me on that. Is when they start to be more connected to the main show by bringing in a couple of stars from the main show, in particular the guy that plays Morgan and the guy that plays Dwight, who both appeared in the main show first and then moved on to that show. There's also Walking Dead Beyond, which from what I can remember is focused on a new batch of survivors, all who have been brought up in the actual apocalypse itself and have not got any sort of knowledge or memories of the sort of human world that it once was before the apocalypse happened. And then you got the Telltale video games focusing on the character of Clementine. Those are all based in the comic book universe, focused on a new set of survivors, but with some connections to the main characters in the comic books. And those were like that franchise of video games, that was actually the final entry was actually the last game Telltale actually made before they went bust, or went filed for bankruptcy or something. Anyway, and those were really good. They revolutionised the point and click adventure games, and the art style is fantastic. And there was also a few VR experiences and some other video games as well. I've not even read the comic books by Robert Kirkman, but I've heard they're really good. The fact that the show has been so successful is a key indication of that. And then going forward, there's been some talks about continuations for all the different characters. So I know there's talks about continuations for the stories of Negan, Maggie, Carol, Daryl, and Rick, and possibly others. But nothing's really come out of fruition yet, and I think there's also an anthology series in the works as well. I don't know. So, yeah, I guess the question I should answer really is it dead? Has it still got life to it? And the honest answer is yes, but also no. Yes, because as I said, they are still working on like continuing the stories of the characters that I mentioned. But with these delays, it's like we don't even know if they will ever happen or not, because the continuation for Rick's story was originally conceived as a trilogy of films before being reworked into a series, and likewise, and the story of Daryl would have featured Carol as well, but because of where that's set, Carol is no longer involved in that, the character that is, and I've not even heard much about the Negan and Maggie series apart from it's happening. And that's all I know so far. And also with how things are in the UK at the moment with the franchise, it's kind of a toss up between which streaming service has it. Like, I know Disney Plus have the rights to the main Walking Dead show after they decided to put the Fox channel, the TV channel, out, sort of stop the Fox channel here and acquire most of the content for the streaming service. Mainly so that the Star Hub on Disney Plus can still keep going. And then the other shows either appear on other channels, like I know we've got an AMC channel here, which is exclusive to BT customers, which has Fear the Walking Dead on it, and most of them do end up appearing on Prime Video, and after a period of time, most of the other Walking Dead stuff appears on Prime Video, mainly as free on Prime, but of course you have to pay for it first for a while, and then it becomes free on Prime for a while, I think. And same Beyond and that. So yeah. So yes, because there's still stuff happening. No, because we don't even know when the stuff that is happening will come out. Hopefully soon, but we don't know at this point in time. But it's a great show. It really sort of revolutionizes the zombie apocalypse subgenre in the horror genre, and sort of showing that there are humans that have emotions, and can't just all be stupid popcorn flick type stuff that you see in a lot of different films about zombies. So yeah, and it's good. It's well worked out. You got a lot of major horror legends in there. Can't for the life of me think of any names, but there are a few there. And it's great when a show does its own thing from the source material. Often with stuff that are based on books and other stuff, they try their best to sort of stick to the rules and so forth, and it's very rare that you get shows like The Walking Dead that decide to do its own thing. Game of Thrones did its own thing as well when it became apparent that the series may actually continue on after the books, because George R.R. Martin didn't release the next book for God knows how long, and who knows, by the time you see this video, it might even be out by then. I don't know. So that's what I think about The Walking Dead. Great franchise, but the life it once had is diminishing, and who knows what will happen going forward with it. I hope we still get more stuff to come, but even if we don't, it's had a good run. It's been around for the past 10 years, so yeah, it's got its family, it's got its fandom, it's got people that love zombie stuff, and it's done so well. I think, and you know, there's not often in the show that I come across a villain who has good intentions, like Negan, because Negan, out of all the Walking Dead villains, he's the one that I actually respect the most, because he actually gives a damn about surviving, and he wants people to survive, and he's fair, because, you know, the other villains would much rather kill everybody, but he's actually fair. He'd actually decides, okay, so I want these people to fall in line. The only way I'm going to get them to fall in line is if I kill one person. And okay, maybe, and that's probably still not a good idea, but he sticks to that rule of killing one person, and then just continues to kill people each and every time they disobey him, or he just doesn't like them, or whatever. And he's also firmly against rape. He's also, very fair against rape. And he just wants to survive, just like anybody. And his arc after his time in the Saviors is great, because he goes from this pretty sadistic bad guy who's fair but still a bad guy, to this guy that wants to continue fighting and redeem himself. And he eventually builds up the courage to apologize to Maggie for killing her husband. And yeah, so, and I like Norman Reedus' character Daryl, one of the few original characters in the show. He's great, and he's been in the show for so long. Can't really see Walking Dead without him. Okay, and that's all I've got to say on The Walking Dead. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to put a comment about what you think about what I've said, do so below. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you want to see more. I'm hoping to reach 75 subscribers at some point. I may have reached 75 by the time this video gets uploaded, but if and when I do, I hope to do something special. And also for 69, because there's a bit of a funny story about the number 69. So yeah, I hope we get there eventually. And I'll just keep on trucking with the gameplay videos and the other vlogs coming up. And that's it. Thank you again. I will see you in the next one. And also make sure you got everything you need to survive the apocalypse if and when we ever get one. At the rate of how things are going with the world at the moment, who knows, we might even get there sooner than later. But hopefully we don't. So yeah, see you next time. Peace.